Newshub have recently published an article stating house prices have the largest monthly drop in a year. What are your opinions on this?
Well, we've been saying that the market is going to drop for a long time. This month, maybe more than last month, but it's on its way down, and we've come down quite a bit from the peak, and it's going further. So I don't think it's anything new. If you go back and watch our podcast or our videos, it explains why the market has dropped and when it's going to drop and when is a good time to buy. Everything. I don't know. I don't know if it's really a news that Newshub has reported, but here it is. The news are talking about it too now.
Awesome. Question 2. Our subscriber Mark has asked, what do you think will happen to the rental yield once inflation and interest rates drop? Will the rental yield go up because of National's policies?
Inflation and interest rate drops. So once inflation and interest rate drops, that will be the bottom of the market. So you buy the property cheaper, the interest is lower, and the rent is still high, because I don't see the rents coming back. And the rents don't usually come back. So absolutely, the rental return or yield will get better as the inflation and interest rate drops. So get ready to buy investment property. And I feel like investors are going to be back, myself personally, get back to the market 6 to 9 months' time when the market is at its bottom.
Nicholas has asked, how long do you expect it to take for the market to return to 3 times to 4 times the average household income?
I think what the Minister of Housing, I think it was, he was talking about they want to get it down to 3 to 4%, and it'll be 3 to 4% when it's the bottom of the market. So once again, I feel like 6 to 9 months, and we've been saying that the bottom of the market will be, or the trough would be, late 2024, early 2025.
Another subscriber has asked, do you have any advice on how to sell a monolithic home?
Those monolithic homes, let me explain what a monolithic home is for our other viewers. A monolithic home is plaster over top of poly. Poly is that thing that you can crack, and they have got bad reputation because in the 1990s there were some leaky homes like that, particularly in Auckland. So some of them are still good if it's been maintained well. Some of them are not in a good condition. So my recommendation for this person who owns a monolithic home, to do a research on it, get a builder report, get a weather tightness report, and make sure all those issues have been attended to before you go to the market. Because people still buy homes, obviously. It just depends in what kind of condition it is. I told buyers, like, hey, even weatherboard homes, if you don't look after it, it would rotten, right? So recommendation for me, they do certainly sell, because we've sold in the past many monolithic homes. In fact, we got one coming to the market down Oxley Street, or Oxley Avenue, and these guys have got cavity. So it's a bunch of things that's important, or you need to know about, or your agent needs to know about. Has it got cavity? Is there any leaks? Is the timber treated? And if there's any issues, has there been attended to? And obviously, like anything, like, you need to be priced well, presented well, marketed beautifully, and you got to have a good agent on the job. So they do so. Sometimes they're a little bit harder because of the bad reputation that they've had in the past. But if you got it in a good order, you should be able to sell it.
And lastly, John has asked, what's your opinion on existing homes versus newly built? Which one is better for investment and ROI?
So I can only speak for experience. I like to buy existing homes, and I like to buy them at the bottom. So there was a saying, I read a book not a little while back, and it talks about real estate is a great investment, but it's got to be done at the right time. Right time meaning buying it at the bottom of the market. What I see is, like, if you're buying a new home, the builder or the developer, they would have marked up and you pay the market value for it. Ideally, you don't want to pay, you want to buy it under the market value, right? So for me, 4-section, 3 to 4 bedroom houses, that's worked pretty good for me. You get a bit of capital growth depending what area in town it is. And number 2, you should get better return for it if it is, for example, you got an existing house, older house in Burnside, Avonhead, Sprayton, Summerfield, a good school zoning, and if you bought an existing house in East Side, that could be pretty good return as well, because you buy it at the bottom of the market and the rent is still pretty good over in East Side of town. And so existing homes have been my recommendations. They've been good to me.
Thank you for your time today, Nathan.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.